Hi, I'm Randy Lee. If you're watching this video, you've probably done some kind of a search on some kind of a condition or maybe even a disease that deals with abnormal cell growth. I'd like to start with this one by saying we in our industry deal with nutritional support. We deal with conditions that the body has. We don't deal with diseases. So if you were looking for some particular disease, you're probably not going to hear me mention it. We'll talk about how the body works and the conditions that are in your body that might lead to some particular disease. But we don't diagnose or treat diseases as such. This particular one deals with abnormal cell growth. It can be all kinds of things that lead to tumors or cysts or any of those kinds of things that go on inside your body, but we're going to deal with the abnormal cell growth or the degenerative condition that your body has. What I'm going to do first is just talk about some of the products that we use that treat those things and how long they've been used and just some information about them. The first category that I want to talk about is one that many people call Easy-Act Tea or ET or Ojibwa tea. This is the way that you spell that, and this is what it is. The Ojibwa were an Indian tribe in Canada, and in the early part of the 1900s, Renee Cassie went to work with those Indians because she noticed that many of those degenerative diseases that particular tribe didn't have, and she wanted to find out why. She found that there was a tea that they drank routinely that they picked up from blending some things. There are actually only 4 ingredients in it. They are burdock root, sheep sorrel, slippery elm, turkey rhubarb. You don't really need to know all of those, but the end product can be called anything that has an E in it. Renee Cassie took her last name, Cassie, and turned it around backwards, and it became Easy-Act. And so most customers call it Easy-Act tea. Those 4 ingredients actually work in a cleansing role in your body, in sort of a purgative role, if you will, to expel things that can cause some abnormal cell behavior in your body. And so she was actually licensed by the Canadian government for a while, even though she didn't have a medical degree, to work with people who had some of these degenerative conditions, and she began to actually see results, and she used the tea. So many companies will call it Ojibwa tea, some of them call it ET, but in every case it's those 4 ingredients, perhaps blended with a couple of other ingredients, but mostly that's just it. And it works very effectively to prevent the proliferation of abnormal cells in your body. Another product that's used in those same kind of roles, both cleansing and in keeping abnormal cells from developing, is a tea that's also called Tahibo tea. It's the inner bark of a plant that grows, a tree actually, that grows in Peru, and we call it Pau de Arco. Pau de Arco. What we can say about it is that it builds the immune system, it aids the detoxification process, and it also nourishes the blood and supports the circulatory system. Another product that helps to both cleanse and purify and get rid of some of the abnormal cells that are in your body. There was a book written in the in the mid-1900s that was called Sharks Don't Get Cancer. Now, I'm not talking about cancer, but cancer is one of the diseases that may develop from some of these abnormal cell growths that are there. The book is actually called Sharks Don't Get Cancer, is the reason I mentioned the disease. But because it was sharks that they didn't find any of those kind of abnormal cell growths in, it became popular to say, what if we were to take the cartilage from the shark and put that in a supplement form and let people take it? And so they did. It's called shark cartilage. This is 300 capsules of shark cartilage, and that's the only ingredient in there. Well, not really. It's got some vitamin A and vitamin C, but it's mostly just shark cartilage. Another company calls theirs SC Formula, but if you could see it in the background there, you can see a shark underneath that SC, and that's also shark cartilage. It does a boosting of the immune system as well, and they're not sure what all of the ingredients in the shark cartilage are, but they do see that it stops the proliferation of abnormal cells, boosts the immune system, and helps with those kinds of degenerative diseases. Another area that's very, very popular is the fact that the body works very well with antioxidants. Now, a number of years ago, they found that some of the strongest antioxidants were grape seed extract or grape skin extract, and they blended it with Oregon pine bark, pine bark, and they put them together and called the product pycnogenol. But these are super antioxidants. The component that's in them that works, big word, proanthocyanidine. Notice the cyan in the middle. Cyan is a bluish color. It's one of the 4 cartridges in your 4-color process that your printer uses, and it's the blue colors. And in fact, proanthocyanidines are found in red, blue, and purple fruits and vegetables, and so it becomes very popular to eat those. When you look at products like this company's super antioxidants, it says it supports the immune system, it may provide some joint support, but it's primarily got some mushrooms and some, but it's also got red and blue and purple fruits and vegetables in it. You can just get those same proanthocyanidines by eating more red, green, red, purple, and blue fruits and vegetables, raspberries, blueberries, eating more apples. Those all have those in it as well. This one might actually surprise you. The National Cancer Institute actually wrote an article called Natural Products for Medicinal Purposes, and they mentioned that in 33 countries in the world, people use red clover as an ingredient to help with proliferation of abnormal cells as well. Red clover is an innocuous little plant, but the blossoms can be put together and used in teas or ground up and put in capsules, and they also help to get rid of abnormal cell growth in your body. Another product is Uva Ursi, which actually means cat's claw, and we call it cat's claw. It's another of your super antioxidants and also works to cleanse and detoxify the body. So that's another product that you can use. Other products, I'm just going to reference, there's a red clover blend that goes along with that same red clover. Echinacea, which we primarily use as an immune system stimulant, but a strong body is better going to be able to fight off abnormal cell growth and degenerative conditions in general, so that's a good product to use. And then tea tree oil. I use tea tree oil all the time. It's our very best for fighting viruses and bacteria and many of the both bacteria and other pathogens that are in the body. Not really used internally as much as externally. We also use it on fungus and those kinds of things. But taking just a drop at a time, a drop of it on your tongue may also get rid of some of those bacteria. It also helps with gum disease. And then my favorite, I've saved it till last. This is a picture of a plant called the pawpaw. Now, my store is Nana's Pawpaw Patch, and I go by Pawpaw, so I really like this product. It actually grows wild in 29 of the 50 states in the United States. It's very common, but most people haven't heard of it because there's no commercial application. Unlike bananas, which is a close relative of the pawpaw, if you pick them green, they don't ripen. They stop their growth at that particular point. So you have to be able to take them off the tree and eat them directly. When you do, they've got a custard-like texture that's very soft, so you can't stack them up. There's no way to get them to market. So you pretty much have to pick them in the wild and eat them in the wild. Therefore, it's not commercially viable. Now, it's not even the fruit that's the part that we use. If you look at these stems, the part that's cut off right there on the edge is actually a little hook-like piece on it that contains a component called, the little hooks contain acetogenins, components that have an awful lot of medicinal value. Picked in the month of May, when the acetogenin levels are at their highest, there may be as many as 400 different acetogenins, and they work to get rid of abnormal cell growth in 4 particular ways. Number 1, they stop the development of ATP, which is adenotriphosphate, which is cellular energy. It basically is selective for abnormal cells, doesn't harm your normal cells at all. It stops the production of cellular energy, so the cells just get weak. In addition to that, anytime your body develops a new cell, it has to put a capillary, a blood vessel, up to that in order to get nutrients to the cell and also to get rid of the waste products out of the cell. Well, in this particular case, the pawpaw stems, the acetogenins, prevent the development of those cells, the blood vessels to those cells, and so the cells can't get any food and water, they can't get rid of their waste material, and so they end up just dying. It also works on the RNA and DNA building blocks within the cells so that the cells can't replicate. So you've got a product which ceases the replication of abnormal cells only. Remember, it doesn't harm your normal cells, doesn't let them get any food and water, and takes away their energy. They pretty much are going to die. That's the pawpaw. The product that I like is called Pawpaw Cell Reg. The reg stands for regulator, so it says it's selective for abnormal cells, and then in the little yellow box it talks about some of those things that I said, how the product works. My favorite product for degenerative conditions and conditions in your body where abnormal cells are growing. Remember, none of this is going to take away your need for medical care. We like to remember that we give you nutritional support so that your body can help to fight those things.